Hello, online crew. Let's talk about overthinking. Who are my overthinkers out there? You know you think too much and you're not doing enough. Put your hand up. Well, I can't see you if you got your hand up, but just put in the comments, me, if you know that's you. Overthinking would have to be one of the most common things that I come up and I hear from people that stops them in their tracks and keeps them stuck. They're thinking a lot about social media. They're thinking a lot about their business. They're thinking a lot about the content that they should create. They're thinking a lot about reels and stories and this and that and whatever. They're thinking a lot, but they're not doing enough. And when you think and when you get overwhelmed, and when your brain's going a million miles an hour, you literally just stop yourself in your tracks and you're very unproductive, and which means your business won't grow fast enough because you're thinking a lot about your business, but you're not doing much. Like, it's a really common thing. So if that's you, you are not alone, and let's talk about that today. Normally, this is the kind of topic that I would speak about at the beginning of my week. But if you were on live with me a couple of days ago, you'll know that I launched my lead generation boot camp. Who is registered? Free 4-day lead generation boot camp coming up, not next week, the week after. If you go to helenmartinonline.com/lead generation, you can register for that and get the workbook that we'll be using for it, and all things leads. How do you attract leads? What are leads? What do you do with them when you get them? Where are they? How do we find them? Everything to do with lead generation. So make sure that you are registered for that. So go to helenmartinonline.com/lead generation. I'll put it on the screen on Facebook, but you can't see that up on Instagram. Just one more thing before I get into the overthinking thing. What was I going to say? I just finished a training for my coaching community members, and it was amazing, if I don't mind saying so myself. I taught our coaching community members how to create an opt-in page that collects emails, sends out an automated message with a lead magnet out to the person, so you can collect emails and they can get what they want, all for free, with no website needed, no email marketing software needed, completely for free. So if you are in my coaching community, you need to watch the replay of that training. Who was on? Who's watching that was on? Amazing training. So just think of that. An opt-in page, collecting emails, automated response with your freebie in it, no website needed, no email marketing software needed, no cost needed, 100% free, and you've got automation in your business. Like, if that's not worth being in my coaching community, I don't know what is. Like, what I give, the training that I give in that community is insane for next to nothing. Like, best investment you can make in your business. Anyway, let me just check in. Registered for the boot camp. Well done, Valerie. Overthinking. Today I must have taken 15 pictures of myself before I said to myself, stop overthinking this and just post it. Dean, that coaching was indeed amazing. Thank you. Do or do not, there is no try. Try is the worst word in your vocabulary. If you use try, I'll try. I'll see if I can get that done. I'll try to get that done. If anyone says to you try, or you say, yeah, I'll try to be there, I'll try to do that, I'll try to get that done, it ain't going to happen. Try is the worst word ever. You should try. You should not try. You should eliminate the word try from your vocabulary. That training was amazing. Hey, Margot, how are you? Me, it was amazing. Wonderful, very practical. Never seen this presented anywhere else. That's why you need to be in my coaching community. Just go to helenmartinonline.com/join online crew coaching and check it out. It's well worth it. Robin, I only saw half and it was amazing. Thank you. Okay, let's get back on track. Sorry, Valerie, I just saw your comment there. Not only do I overthink, but I overtalk and oversell. The joke about me is ask Valerie what time it is and she'll tell you how to make a watch. That's funny. Love that. So let's get back to overthinking. There are basically two types of people. The two types of people out there, and you can sort of evaluate what type of person you are. Okay? So just put a 1 or a 2 in the comments after I share with you what kind of people are out there. Number 1 is a person that has a bias towards action. They lean into opportunities. They get excited. They create. They do before they think. Nothing's perfect. They've got a creative brain and they're like, oh, let me do that, do that. They start things, don't necessarily finish them. Nothing's perfect, but they just get a lot done. So that's somebody that has a bias towards taking action. And then there's the majority of the population, which has a bias towards thinking. So you think about a lot of things. You think about what you should be doing. You analyze things a lot. You consider a lot of things. You kind of know a lot of things, but you don't do anything and you keep learning. You keep reading professional development books and don't do anything with them. You keep watching videos on how to make amazing recipes and never cook a damn thing. You keep watching exercise videos and keep thinking, I should do that, or I should probably get to the gym, and you learn a lot, but you don't get any fitter. Or you watch another social media training about the latest thing that's trending at the time and still don't action it or do it. But you've taken a lot of information in, you've learned a lot of things, but you're not doing the do. So what are you, 1 or 2? 1 or 2, 1, those people with a bias towards action, they're creative. They'll get things done and they kind of do before they even think. And things often are a little bit messy, but they get a lot done. 2 person is you have a bias towards thinking, analyzing, learning, but you sometimes over learning, procrastinating, thinking about, you do a lot of thinking, but you don't take a lot of action. And most of those people are what exist in the human race, but that only keeps you stuck. So, back to those examples that I gave, it doesn't matter how many videos you watch of how to cook things, unless you actually physically cook it, you're not going to eat any cleaner. You could watch some exercise videos, but you can watch exercise videos until the cows come home. But unless you actually do what they're teaching you to do, you're not going to get any fitter. You can watch training after training after training after training on social media, and I'm sure a lot of you do, about building a business online. But unless you go and action what you're actually learning, it doesn't mean anything. You can't think your way into being amazing. You can't think your way into getting more prospects. You can't think your way into creating more social media content. You can't think your way into creating more reels. Whatever kind of content you want to put out there. Overthinking is one of the worst things that you could do. It literally keeps people stuck, not for days, but weeks and years. And you wonder why you're not getting any further in your business or in your life or your health or exercises, because you think a lot about the things that you know you need to do. And you might even watch more trainings about the things that you know you need to do, or you buy another program about learning about the thing that you want to do, but you still don't change. We're going to stop that. Should we stop that? Is that a little bit unproductive for you? The first thing, and why I talk about these kind of things on videos once a week, is you can't change anything you don't recognize. So I talk about these kind of things to help you recognize what you do and don't do. So if you recognize from this conversation, this might just be a video that you needed to hear. You've come across this live and you've listened to it for a reason. Raise your level of awareness about how much you think and maybe not do. So that's step one. Recognize. Secondly, what do we do about it? One of the first things I would recommend is if you're a massive thinker, overthinker, get stressed, you get overwhelmed, is you've got to get pen to paper. You've got to get things out of your head and onto a piece of paper. You've got to empty your brain. When you think and you can't see clearly and you're not sure what the next steps are, all those kind of things, you are wasting so much of your energy up here. So much of your energy. You have to start getting things out. You've got to get it out of your head and onto paper and reread it and look at and what's that word? Compartmentalize? Put things in oh, just stop, Helen. You know what I'm trying to say? You start reorganizing things and you start prioritizing things. And it's like, okay, I've got this massive list of things that I keep thinking about. What comes first? What comes second? You start reorganizing things. You write a list, you reorganize your list, and you start getting focused on what needs to come first and what needs to come second and what your priorities are. But you can't reorganize things and put things in an order and start to get clear and focused on things unless you get things out of your head. So if you're overwhelmed, you need to grab an old-fashioned pen and a piece of paper and start getting out of your head and brainstorming, and then start working with what it is that you're brainstorming and prioritizing what it is that you need to work on first. And by when? Deadlines. What are you going to do? But not what are you going to do? What are you going to do by when? And I say this to my VIP students all the time when I ask them their goals and what they're going to do and what they're working on. And they tell me all this stuff. And I'm like, by when? By when? Deadline. Give yourself a deadline. If you don't put deadlines on anything that you know you need to do, you just won't. So brainstorming, out of your head, onto paper, start prioritizing. When you get your focus, you get your priorities, you know what it is that you need to be working on first, second, and third. When are you going to do those things? And accept the fact that you're not going to like some of those things, because our brain is designed to keep us safe, and it will literally talk you out of things that you don't want to do. But success doesn't live there. Success doesn't live in your comfort zone. You're going to have to do things that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. You're going to have conversations you don't want to have. You're going to have to put content out there that you don't want to. You're going to have to get more vulnerable and authentic if you want to connect with people through social media. You're going to have to do things you don't want to do. Just accept it and stop avoiding it and stop overthinking it. And just know, I have to do this anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Use the Mel Robbins theory if you need to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to do it by tomorrow at 2:00. Just start there. You've got to start somewhere. When overwhelm lives in your head and you're thinking about all the things that you need to do, but you're not doing a damn thing. You're just slowing your progress. You're just delaying putting more money in your bank account. You're just delaying where it is that you want to get to go, because you just keep on thinking about all the things that you want to do. And you're not doing what you need to do. Can you relate? If you can relate, put the word relate in the comments. Own it. Say it out loud. Relate. I'm not perfect. I do it too. And that's why when I get overwhelmed, I know I need to sit down and give myself some space with a pen and paper and brainstorm and start prioritizing, and then give myself deadlines. I've got to get this done by then, and I've got to get that done. But this can hold off until next week. I've got to get this done by tomorrow. And you start getting focused. When you start getting focused and you've got a plan, now you start taking action. It still might not feel comfortable. You still might have to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it anyway. But at least you know what you're doing and you can clear through the chaos and the overwhelm and the mess to go and do what you need to do. Because you know what? Most of you don't need to watch another training. You don't need to go and learn more stuff. You just need to go and do. And you know what happens when you do? You feel accomplished. And amazing things might happen. You might go, oh, why didn't I do this a lot sooner? This isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. All those things come up. And then you start getting wins on the board and you start getting confidence. And when your confidence grows, you'll do things you never thought you would do. Or you'll start making big changes because it starts to feel good instead of feeling like nothing's working for you. It's because you're all up here and you're not taking responsibility to clear through the mess that you've got in your head. It's your problem. You've got to sort it out because no one's coming to your rescue and sorting it out for you. So you can either live with it and get pissed off with yourself and get angry with yourself for not being as far ahead as where you think you should be. Or you can start being real, look yourself in the mirror and go, I need to stop thinking about what it is I need to do. And I need to start prioritizing and focusing and reworking it and put deadlines and just get the job done. Whether it's comfortable or not. I just have to do the do. Okay? You with me? I'll always say this with love. I'm not here to tell you off. You live your world. What I want for you, though, is for you to be productive and happy and focused and getting wins on the board. It's much more fun when you're getting results and you're getting more money in your bank account and you're helping people in your business. Because when it feels good and you're winning, you'll do more, you'll do faster, and then you get extremely focused because you know who you're helping, what you're helping them with, because it's all working and everything's falling into place. And things just get suddenly a hell of a lot easier. Living in a world of overwhelm, you're just pushing up against it every day. That's hard. It's exhausting. You don't want to stay there, do you? You don't want to live in that world. Valerie, other words I work to remove from my vocab: would, should, could, might, maybe. Absolutely. Get rid of all of those words. And it's like, I will do this by then. So work out what it is you're going to do and when you're going to do it. And it's just a given you're going to get it done. There's no try. There's no could. There's no should. There's just, no, this is my path. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. This is what I've got to go and do. Okay. All right. Relate. We've got a few relators. We've got relates on Instagram as well. So if you relate to it, don't listen to this and go, yeah, I can relate to that, and then go on with your day. Set a time in your head calendar right now that you're going to say, okay, tonight after dinner, or tomorrow at lunchtime, or tomorrow morning when I've got a window, I'm going to sit down with a pen and paper and I'm going to reorganize my thoughts. Do it right now. That is something you can decide to do right now. Tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Make a window of time, give yourself some space where you know you can have some space, and sit down with a pen and paper and reorganize your thoughts, your priorities, your focus, and attach deadlines to it and get super clear about what it is that you need to do, when you're going to do it by, even if it feels uncomfortable, because you just need to accept the fact that success is on the other side of your comfort zone. So you do need to create content, be vulnerable, have conversations, do things that aren't going to necessarily feel comfortable in the beginning. But just accept it and do it anyway. If you've got goals, dreams, visions, you want a bigger bank account, you want to help more people, you want to be happier, you want to be freer, you want to have more time to do the things that you want to do later in life, you want to leave a legacy for your kids or your grandkids, what is it for you? What's important to you? If you want that, You've got to go and do some uncomfortable things, but you have to take responsibility if you're an overthinker, because it just stops you in your tracks and you are working at snail's pace most of the time. Okay? I hope this is helpful. I hope it makes you think, but more so, I hope you actually go and do something with what you've listened to today. So, 2 reminders. Make sure you're registered for my free lead generation bootcamp coming up the week after next. helenmartinonline.com/lead generation. Register for the bootcamp so you can get all the information, the dates, the times, the workbook, the Facebook group you need to be in, etc. That will be amazing for you. And those of you in my coaching community, make sure you watch the replay of that training that I just did before this live, where I've showed you how to do an opt-in page, collect an email, send out an automated response, give somebody what they want in the moment while you're sleeping, without a website, without an email marketing program, and completely for free. Make sure you go and catch that training. Okay? I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place.